My name is Emma Swett. I am a senior in college. I go to the University of Portland and am from Woodland, Washington. So I'm local to the Portland area. I'm a communication major, and yeah, that's the gist. So I come from a really sporty family. I got a little more serious about basketball first, and I started playing volleyball in the 6th grade. That was the first time I started playing on a tournament travel team. Once I got into high school, I got a lot of attention. It was like, whoa, this girl's good. Where did she come from? I made varsity as a freshman and never came off the court. I was the captain as a freshman, and that was really hard. No senior girls in high school want a little 14-year-old to come in and be the captain. I got Gatorade Player of the Year in high school my senior year, and that was the coolest thing ever. There was a video that had been posted, and Peyton Manning was telling me congratulations. And I was just this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. And I got this big banner from my high school gym. And then I think that's my secret fact when it's tell us something interesting about yourself. It's actually I was getting ready to play the year in high school. And so then I started talking to University of Portland. Yeah, they offered me in January and I committed, and then in June I was on campus training. So made the decision. It was a really quick turnaround, yeah. Freshman year I came in. I was a freshman. I was you're not supposed to play. Someone got hurt. I was the next man up, so I ended up playing my entire freshman year. And then I had a really good first half of my sophomore year before I ended up getting injured. I played our last game and I didn't feel good, and I tested after and I had COVID. And our season was over, so it wasn't I didn't miss anything. And then I got really sick right after I got out of quarantine. And everyone just thought, oh, your immune system was weak, you just had COVID, whatever. I got really sick. So they kind of go into panic mode, okay, what could be wrong with you? And I was just a mirage of weird health symptoms. There's nothing I can do, I'm just gonna have to push through this. We were in San Francisco playing on a weekend, and it's before a game on a Saturday, and I start warming up, and then my feet go numb. I'm laying on a training table in the middle of the hallway at the University of San Francisco. I'm throwing up now. I just things just start cascading, getting worse. And I was admitted to the hospital in San Francisco, and I was there for 5 days. And that's when I got the long COVID diagnosis. And so basically I had just pushed my body to the breaking point. And it was that Saturday, I was yeah, we're done here. You went too far. I mean, it's different for everyone, but most commonly it's when you just can't kick a lot of the symptoms and side effects of COVID. So for a lot of people, in the more mild cases, it's fatigue, brain fog, weak immune system, just things like that you can't really kick after you have COVID. The diagnosis wasn't any relief. It was okay, I don't even know what that means. That doesn't even sound real. Yeah, so I remember the first question I asked in the hospital was, well, can I keep playing volleyball? And it was hoping she wasn't gonna ask that question. Yeah, I do need to walk again, that's fine. And then I remember me and my mom were on the way to the airport, and I was do I go back to school when I get back? What am I gonna do? And we kind of got into that conversation, and I was honestly, Mom, I never want to be in this position ever again. And I think that was the hardest part, was I 5 days before was playing in a Division I college volleyball game, and then now I can't walk because of whoa. It was just wrapping my head around that. So it's been a year, a little over a year now. Once I finally felt healthy again, I realized how unhealthy I was. And so I think that was the big, finally okay, it's okay. I dove into a lot of new things, I think. I knew I had to fill up my time, otherwise I was gonna go crazy. I think I put myself in a bunch of situations to do things that I had never gone to do before because of volleyball. Not in this bucket list type of way, but I had never had a job before. I never had time. I got to do things that I thought I wanted to do with my career. Like I got to apply for, and like I write for the school newspaper, and like I've had like these odd jobs here and there, like working with the Remix Now and like the Pickles internship. Like I never would have got to do those things if I was still playing volleyball. I want to work in sports. I want to be a like sideline reporter. I do a little bit of that now I just recently started working with the Remix, and that's been so fun. And then I write for our school newspaper. So I'm getting like a good balance right now of getting to write sports and then also be live. That was a long process, like to be where I'm at now. Like, okay, this is what my life looks like healthy. Wow, is it different than how I looked at this time last year? So just being grateful for like the process, and then my friends and family who, at like my deepest points, like were there for me, and I'm still really good friends with all my teammates, and like they really stood by my side and like supported me to an incredible extent. And so I think for anybody else who is going to go through that, like you aren't alone, and like I said, like you're so much more than an athlete. Like you have friends, you have family, like you're a person, and like those people love you, who are going to support you because you're a person, not because of like what you contribute on the court. Yeah, I think the biggest shock for me has been like hundreds of thousands of athletes go through this every year when they're seniors and graduate. And if I think about how hard my experience has been, like granted it's had a few more hurdles than others, but like the fact that everyone goes through this who's played a sport, like losing that part of their identity is like, and I've always been like, like it's life, like whatever, but like having gone through it, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I ever like invalidated anybody's feelings for how hard of an experience it is to like lose that. The thing I've learned is just to talk about it. Don't like think about all the what ifs. I can't assume no one's gonna understand until like I actually like give them the ability to try. You don't truly realize how many aspects of your life your sport has touched until it's gone. You're gonna think about it a lot. I think the biggest thing, I mean, full transparency, like I've been in therapy for the last year, just everything that I went through and just trying to like cope with like losing that. And I think the most helpful thing that I've learned is like who I am when I was playing volleyball and who I am when I'm not playing volleyball hasn't been the same person, but like my values of who I am and like what made me a good volleyball player also makes me a good person. I'm gonna have other moments in my life where like those values of who I am are gonna help me to succeed because of who I am, not just because of some skill that I had on the volleyball court, but because of my work ethic and my determination and my like will to work for my teammates. And like I think that's put into athlete terms so often, but I think it just boils down to like being a good person. And I think that's gonna take me just as far in life as it did in volleyball.